Hello everybody, and welcome to another Vintage Cube video. We have a pretty good pack to start. We'll be taking Counterspell. Zagoth Triome is the only other reasonable consideration here, in my opinion. But Counterspell is amazing. Very, very good interaction. It's cheap, it's good early, it's good late. It's in the best color combination. Always a card I'm happy to first pick. And I think we'll follow it up with a Treachery. Rafine's Tower is good, as is Coalition Relic, for sort of blue mid-rangey decks. Animate Dead is very good in Reanimator, and Blue-Black Reanimator is a good deck. Sulfuric Vortex is powerful, but not really synergistic with Counterspell. I think if there was no Treachery here, I would take the Rafine's Tower, but we'll take the Treachery. Very nice pickup. And there's a Consecrated Sphinx. We could also take Omnath or Scalding Tarn, but actually, Scalding Tarn is a reasonable pick. Omnath is unnecessarily greedy here, third pick. Consecrated Sphinx is very strong, but it's also 6 mana. Actually, I think I'm going to take the Tarn here. It's close, but we're almost 100% to be playing a color other than blue, and Scalding Tarn will help pretty much regardless of whatever our ancillary color is. Yeah, let's take the Scalding Tarn. Close pick, though. We just passed a couple lands, so I think we should be responsible here and make sure we get a bit of fixing. Now we have a Breeding Pool. I don't think we're a Time Spiral deck. I guess we could take it. Well, we could take it. We have Treachery, so if we wanted to lean towards the High Tide type shenanigans, then that is a reasonable line. That's not optimal, though, I think. Those decks are kind of bad. They're only good if they're completely open. And fourth pick Time Spiral isn't enough of a sign that that's open. I think the right pick here is Breeding Pool, especially given that we just took some fixing. It's close, though. I know some people will want me to just slam Storm, and I do respect that. If Time Spiral somehow wheels, I'll absolutely go in that direction. But I really don't want to be playing Storm if anyone is anywhere near that. You need everything to be wheeling for those decks to work. So we'll take the fixing to start. Okay, a few options here. We could just take Repeal for solid interaction. I love Elspeth if we're blue-white, but that doesn't really work with the lands we have right now. Bloodstained Mire doesn't really help either. We could easily be 4-color or like Grixis or Sultai or something, but not a card I'm thrilled about. There's also Dragon's Rage Chandler. We have Scalding Tarn to pair with it, and this card is really good if you have a lot of non-creature spells, but I think I'm just going to take the Repeal here. Nothing in this pack is strong enough to really pull me in one direction, so we'll just stay open and see what things we're getting very late. Okay, similar deal here. I mean, there is Turnabout, so the Storm stuff, if these things all come around, that will be kind of sweet, but I don't think that's very likely. We could take Jetmir's Garden if we want to keep the Omnath door open, but I think once again I'm just going to take Venser, and we'll see what things are coming around. As always in Vintage Cube, there's a lot of different directions we could have gone to this point, but I think this is the kind of shell that it's just very versatile. We can go so many different directions with these 6 cards to start. Alright, a couple interesting options here. A lot of green, that's worth noting. Edric is an option, but that doesn't really play with what we have right now. I think we should take Cultivate, which is a great card if we're playing blue-green. I don't love the color combination blue-green in general. I think you need to splash another color for removal, usually. But that's fine. Cultivate enables that splash, so no problem there. Now we have what? This pack is kind of bad. Inquisition of Kozilek is definitely the best card. General Ferris could be sweet if we end up with the Omnath thing, but I think that's not super likely. Maybe we just take the Inquisition speculatively. I don't love Endurance. I don't love Soulfire Grandmaster. Yeah, we'll take the Inquisition and then see. Ooh, well, the Sultai land came around. That's pretty awesome. So that makes me very happy we just took the Inquisition. So we could, this might be our lane here. Sultai control, base blue. Let's take the Triome. And now we wheel Rafine's Tower. Wall of Omens is not in our colors. We could take Animate Dead just as a value play, but I think I'll just take the Rafine's Tower here. It's not amazing, but it is a blue... Wait, does this... Yeah, it's blue-black, so it helps us cast our blue core plus Inquisition of Kozilek. I think that's worth it. Okay, Omnath came around. That's interesting. We could end up going 4 colors here, or 5 colors here. I don't think I'm going to take the Grief. We're not really a Grief deck, so we'll speculate on the Omnath. I'm not committed to this card. It might not happen if we don't get enough fetch lands, but if it did, it would be sweet. Here we can take... none of these are great. I guess I'll take the blue card. Maelstrom Pulse, that's pretty solid if we're playing black and green. Thragtusk, also not bad. And last pick, Goblin Welder. Okay, so a lot of different directions here. We have some very good blue cards and then some... I guess we're base blue-green right now, but with considerations in pretty much every color direction. And now we have a Mana Crypt, which does not play with Omnath, but I think is still probably just good enough that we have to take it. Other good cards, Expressive Iteration is excellent if we're playing red, but we have no red lands at the moment. Probe is fine, could always take Fixing, Click is fine, but yeah, let's take the Mana Crypt. It doesn't work with a lot of things, but it works very well with Cultivate, great with Thragtusk, solid with Treachery, and just a broken card. Even though it's not amazing yet, we can... Now that we have Mana Crypt, we can prioritize things like Mystic Confluence more highly. I think that is the pick here. Drago Tree Speaker's good. Xander's Lounge is good. Thoughtseize is great. A couple Planeswalkers, Memory Deluge, but yeah, let's take the Mystic Confluence. It's interaction, it's card advantage, it's an instant, just a really strong card. And now we have a couple Tri-lands versus Spell Pierce. It's kind of interesting. Spell Pierce is very good interaction. So it depends kind of on how hard we want to work to make the Omnath plan work. Like, we could just cut Omnath and then just be straight up Sultai still. And then our mana is pretty good. Our mana is bad for 4 color, or for 5 color, but yeah, splashing both red and white just for Omnath seems a little greedy. I think I'm going to take the Spell Pierce here. We'll see what happens. Maybe we wheel a bunch of lands and we can go in that direction, but we're going to want to have cheap interaction no matter what we're playing. And now we can take Ignoble Hierarch, Ancestral Vision, or Reclamation Sage. I like the idea of taking the Hierarch. Having 1 mana accelerants is good in these decks. Yeah, I'll take the Hierarch here. Okay, now we got to take the Remand. I love Baleful Strix. I love Teferi. Primeval Titan could be good. Maybe even Cryptic, but we want to have cheap counterspells. That's very, very important for basically any deck that's not super fast, because we'll play against some combo decks, and this is really the only way to fight them. Now we'll take a Botanical Sanctum, not a sexy pick, but it is a good one. Duress is a solid card. Wormcoil Engine is reasonable, but let's just take the nice Fixing. And yeah, again, we have good mana here. Omnath is a high payoff card, but you don't really want to splash 2 colors just for 1 4-drop. That doesn't really make sense. Like, you need to have a bunch of fetch lands so the mana base is near perfect, and also have other cards of those colors that you're playing, like playing Wrenn and 6 plus Teferi, that sort of thing. Now we do have a Temple Garden. There's also Sakura Tribuilder and Vraska, and I think I like just taking Vraska here. Solid removal. The -3 ability is very strong. Also, the plus is kind of nice with cards like Mana Crypt. This is very good early, but it quickly becomes a liability in the mid and late game, and Vraska lets us kill off our own Mana Crypt for value. Yeah, we'll take that. Okay. Not much for us here. A lot of white cards. Godless Shrine could help us if we want to play the Omnath. I don't think we're playing Survival of the Fittest or Terastodon, so I will take this speculatively. Okay, there's a Zator's Proving Ground. At the very least, this is a black-green land, so it does help us no matter what. And then could help us with a possible red splash. Click is good. And we are running some risk of having too many tapped lands if we take this, but I think it's still worth it to take a little bit more Fixing here. And so now, basically, the only way we end up splashing is if we get multiple fetch lands. Now I'll take a Grist. Really good pickup. This is a good pack for us all around. Kaito and Memory Deluge would be good too, but Grist is better here. Excellent removal. And now we'll take a Hydroid Krasis. I love Sylvan Caryatid, and the fact that it fixes for all our colors is good, but I think Krasis is extremely powerful, and we don't have a ton of top end at the moment. So we will take this guy. Also, it plays really well with the Mana Crypt. Now we get Rex Sage. We could just take the Vindicate, but Reclamation Sage is good. Let's take that. Okay. Cryptic Command could be tough on the mana. Definitely we're not playing this if we're playing Omnath, but there's a world where this ends up being castable in our deck. We'll take the Knight of Autumn, and last pick, Sakura Tribelder. Wow. It's actually a card we'll very happily play. Alright, what do we have here? There's a few reasonable options. We're not a natural order deck, unfortunately. We could play Field of the Dead. We have a lot of lands already. We could play Witherbloom Command is actually probably the card we want the most from this pack. But it's almost guaranteed to come around if we got a late grist. We could take Urza Saga to pair with the Mana Crypt, but this isn't really a good Urza Saga deck. And then Garruk is fine, Dark Confidant's fine, Time Warp is fine, Daze. I think I like just taking the Field of the Dead here, though. We can take Field and then wheel Witherbloom Command. Yeah, let's do that. Now we get Ravenous Chupacabra, Golos, Pest Infestation. I think I like taking the Golos here. We should be able to, even if we're not playing Omnath, we can make all 5 colors, and Golos is a pretty nice value play then. Plus, just getting Field of the Dead can win the game pretty quick. Yeah, let's take that. Now we have Simic Signet versus Moldrifter. Or Damnation, actually, yeah, let's just take the Damnation. We don't have much removal. Yeah, this will be the best card in our deck in like 40% of matchups. That seems good. If we manage to wheel Signet, that would be awesome. Same with Moldrifter, but let's take the removal. It's important to have that sort of thing. Now we'll take an Overgrown Tomb. Night's Whisper is good, but we have reasonable card draw already. We're playing Field of the Dead now. We want to have untapped lands. Yeah, pretty easy pickup. Now we can take Fact or Fiction, I think. Savannah would help with the Field of the Dead, but this is a great card draw, and we passed Memory Deluge, so we're not getting that. Having a little bit of 4-mana card draw is good. Ophion Mentor is also solid, as is Questing Beast, but let's take the Foff. Now we get the Scarab God, also Nurturing Peatland, but I think the Scarab God is good enough that it's worth taking here. Another good use for Mana Crypt. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, this is going to be at least 17 lands, potentially 18. So, we're going to need to make some cuts. Right now, we're probably not playing this Cryptic Command, unfortunately. All of the other cards seem pretty good, though. We could play Damnation in the sideboard, but I would like to play the main deck if we can. There's a Leovold. Pretty easy pickup. I would love to play Utopia Sprawl. Mesmeric Fiend would be fine, too, but we're playing Sultai. We got the Sultai creature. That's one of the main payoffs for this color combination, so we'll take it. What else do we not want here? Thragtusk is kind of medium if they're not playing an aggressive deck. Maybe we move that to the board. Venser's also only okay, although it is good with the Scarab God. Ooh, Uro. Nice. Yeah, we'll definitely take Uro. That's another perfect payoff. We have no graveyard stuff at the moment, so we can just put all of our graveyard resources into Uro. And Uro also plays well with the Field of the Dead, playing a bunch of lands, game plan. Witherbloom Command wheeled. Nice. Dark Confidant and Daze are good too, but this card's very, very good. It just like kills a creature and a Mox a lot of the times. And it can also fill your graveyard, return lands. Just a really, really strong interactive card. We get Pest Infestation now. Another good pickup. Gonna have to make a lot of cuts here. I think we cut Reclamation Sage now that we have Pest Infestation. I'll move Venser to the board for combo matchups. And then right now we run it like this, but might have to make some more cuts. Okay, this is our first pack that's kind of a brick. I don't think we're ever splashing red. I'll take Sword of Feast and Famine. Could be a card we want against mono green. Now, could we ever side into an Oath deck? We don't have that many creatures. We could also take Kitchen Finks for the aggro matchup. I think I'll take the Oath, though. Oath is really, really good against creature decks. Now we'll take out Savannah just as a forest that helps with Field of the Dead. Stomping Ground, same thing. And last pick, Winter Orb. Okay. All right, this deck seems sweet. We can play 6 basics and run it like this. So this is what they recommend. Let's sort by color. All right, so we have 11 blue cards, 8 black cards, and 11 green cards. So base blue-green with a black splash. This gives us, for black, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9. That seems solid. Wouldn't really want to go lower, but we could if we needed to. For green, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Also solid. And for blue, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I want one more blue. Let's get 1 black for 1 blue in light of the Uro. Yeah, I think this seems fine. We'll submit like this. This deck seems sweet. Just Sultai mid-range with a Golos, Field of the Dead sub-theme. 17 lands plus Mana Crypt seems reasonable. We don't have that high of a curve. And we have a couple sources of mana in our spells. So yeah, we'll run it like this. I'll see you in round 1. Alright, we have our opponent for round 1. We're playing some Sultai mid-range. Mana Crypt, the old Mana Crypt Leovold deck. A true classic. Alright, great hand. We have all our mana, a lot of black spells, or a lot of black lands, but that's fine. We're going to grab a Triome on turn 1 and then have Remand available on turn 2. Ooh. So we could fetch untapped blue-green land with Scalding Tarn. I guess that's worth it. I'm not too worried about having enough black mana here. So let's grab Breeding Pool and get the Hierarch down. And now we can play turn 2 Leovold, which is really strong against a lot of decks. Night's Whisper, okay. Good thing they played that before we played Leovold. Yeah, we're just going to play the Leo here. We could get punished there, like if they just played Channel, we will regret not holding up Counter Magic, but we need to find a window to resolve our threat. That seems like a pretty good window. If they kill the Leovold, we get our 2 for 1, and then we can hold up Counter Magic going forward. So this seems like a good spot to be in. Bone Charge killing Leovold. Okay, well, this is 3 for 1. They discard a card, we draw a card. This is fine. Then they Thoughtseize us. We still have some removal, or some Counter Magic. They'll probably take the Krasis if I had to guess. And then we'll just be playing a bit of Drago, which probably favors us. Oh, they take Remand. Interesting. And then play Mana Vault. Well, alright. I'm not going to play a small Krasis here. I'm going to wait until we can draw 2 cards off of it, ideally. But with the Spell Pierce, or with the Mana Vault, Spell Pierce is unlikely to be particularly effective here. Worst case scenario is they Mind Twist our hand. Okay, they play Liliana. I'm going to Spell Pierce just to tap their Mana Vault. Not the best use of Spell Pierce, but it's not bad. Now they can make us sack our Hierarch, but then we can play Krasis, which can threaten to kill the Lily. Golos, good draw. So if they plus, we can decide between discarding Damnation and Sakura Tribe Elder. I'm leaning towards just doing the Damnation, though, because my hope is to get... Interesting. Okay, my hope is to get Field of the Dead going. Yeah, I'm going to discard the Damnation, but it is very close. And now we'll see if they want to keep Walking Ballista or Liliana. Huh, okay, I kind of thought they would want to keep Lily, but this is definitely fine. Let's play this, and now we can decide between getting a red land and getting a Field of the Dead. I think Field of the Dead is going to give us more value here. They're fairly likely to be able to kill the Golos, and this way, like, we will win the long game, almost definitely. So right now the Swamp is not going to get the job done because we don't have 7 different land types, but we can place a Sakura Tribe Elder first, and then get a Forest, and then be good to go. So let's go green, white, Sakura Tribe Elder. Sack it for forest. Now we have 7 land types. We can do this, get another zombie, start swinging. And we could use Treachery just as a removal spell for this Walking Ballista, but that seems pretty lackluster. I'd rather just hold this for their next threat. Okay, just main phase, put a counter on the Ballista. That's totally fine. That's actually a good draw here because it gives us 2 zombies. Let's go to combat and swing with everything. So if they remove a counter here, okay, so they have a couple options. They could, all right, they're going to go for killing the Krasis plus killing a zombie. And then take 2, but then we're going to get 2 more zombies. So island and play tapped, make another zombie. Play island from hand, make another zombie. Pass turn. They need a miracle here. I guess they could go land board sweeper, but then still just like every land gives us a zombie and every non-land is a good spell. So, all right, nice. We take down, I guess, Abzan midrange. Not a common color combination. Sword of Feast and Famine gives protection from a lot of other things, but I still think it's not quite worth it. They're going to have a lot of removal, and I don't want to get stuck in a spot where we have sword but no creatures. Thragtusk is an option. It's pretty resilient against removal, and it's good if they come out with a more aggressive game plan for game 2. We could also cut Pest Infestation, since we haven't seen many artifacts and enchantments. Yeah, I think that seems like a reasonable exchange. There will be some ways the game 2 could go where we'll go back. I guess we did see Walking Ballista, but I still think this seems like the way to do it. Alright, this is a good hand. We need to get green mana with a Scalding Tarn. So I think we're not going to Inquisition on turn 1 then. We're just going to play Rafine's Tower and then set up for turn 2. They duress us, okay. They can't take Grist. They might take Witherbloom Command. Okay, they take our Inquisition. Fair enough. Okay, I don't know if they just didn't read our cards or what, but this is not going to go well for them. We can grab our green source here, and then you'll see the power of Witherbloom Command. So we'll go target player mills 3 cards, and then we return land card from our graveyard to our hand. So we're going to mill ourselves, and then destroy their Bitter Blossom. So we mill, destroy you. Clean 2 for 1 here. We can get Field of the Dead or Scalding Tarn. I think we're going to get the Tarn here. And the reason we wanted to mill ourselves is because we were hoping to mill towards Uro. We didn't hit it there, but still. This is a great spot for us. They play Liliana, not a problem. We have multiple good answers to that. Let's discard Thragtusk, and then we're going to play Grist this turn. Do we want to get Stomping Ground or another island? We don't really need red mana for anything, and I don't think we need double green either, so I'm just going to grab Island, preserve the life total a bit. Then we'll play Grist. And plus. Hoping to mill over Uro there, but oh well. Now, Grist is threatening to kill their Liliana. They have 1 card left. What is it? Toxic Deluge for 1. That is extremely weak. Alright, I think we're going to discard Vraska here. And then Maelstrom Pulses. I want to have some card draw to rebuild. If we knew we were drawing land, untapped land, we could Vraska to kill this. But yeah, I think I'd rather just go plus again. Maelstrom Pulse this. We still have a lot of loyalty for Grist to kill their next thing. Get our tap land in play and pass. It's a little sad that we still haven't found Uro, but it's fine. Grief. That's a good draw. They can take our Fact or Fiction, and we can kill their Grief, but we're kind of top decking 2 now, and we drew one of the worst cards we could have. I guess we should have actually swung for 2 first. Slight misplay. We missed on 2 points of damage. Still, we have an active Grist. We're in a really good position. They've won both of their mana crypt flips, but still feeling pretty good about this. There's the Uro. Excellent. So we'll plus. Now, if we play Uro, can we put it into play this turn? No, we don't have quite enough of all the colors of mana, so play this. I guess if we knew we were drawing an untapped land, we could have played Mana Crypt to get Uro into play there, so maybe that would have been better, but actually, yeah, we probably should have done that. I don't think the Mana Crypt damage is likely to be the relevant factor here. They him to Torok to take out our Mana Crypt. That's totally fine. Let's plus again. Then get the Uro out here. We'll exile. We want to leave creatures in the graveyard for the Grist Ultimate. Unlikely to matter, but it could push through the last few points of damage. Alright, then we'll hit you for 2 and pass. And now Uro's a quick clock. We have Spell Pierce, which can do stuff. We have Grist. They've won all 3 of their Mana Crypt flips, but I don't think that'll be enough. Hilarious. We can just, like, Spell Pierce. I don't even care about this Mirari's Wake, but we're not going to Spell Pierce anything else, especially if the Wake resolves. Alright, good draw. Let's swing. We'll make yet another dude, and now passing with Remand up and a lethal board. They won 4 flips in a row. Not too much of a problem, though. Pretty easy round 1. They were basically playing the same deck as us, but without blue. That's never going to go well for them. See you in round 2. All right, we have our opponent for round 2. Pretty easy match in round 1. I'm down for a little bit more of a challenging match, but with the same result for match 2. We'll see what our opponent has to offer. And I'm hoping to win this trophy because that would take us into the top 3. Obviously, a bit of a drop-off from 2 to 3 here, but I'd like to claim the 3rd spot regardless. All right, we're on the draw here. That's too bad, but our hand is excellent. We can play turn 1 Inquisition, turn 2 Vraska. And I might just like cash the Mana Crypt immediately, depending on what we're playing against. As in cash it for a card with the Vraska. Okay, fast start from the opponent. Not going to be cashing now. We're going to be using this Vraska's minus. Maelstrom Pulse is a good draw. Let's see what they have. Hopefully they only have 1 creature that we can take. Okay, they're going for a turn 2 Liliana, so we will prevent them from doing so. They're also playing Sultai, funnily enough. They top decked a Woe Strider, which is very frustrating because that lets them start accruing the Copter. Yeah, that's really annoying. So they loot away the Krasis, hit us for 3. Then we can go Maelstrom Pulse to kill the Copter here. Ooh, really good draw. Okay, so that can kill the Copter. What else do we want to do with it? Or do we hold off on killing the Copter for now? We could also just play the Vraska. Yeah, I think I'm going to play the Vraska and kill the Woe Strider. We could get kind of... It's really bad if they top deck a creature. And then they can crew the Copter. I guess I'll actually play the Witherbloom command first here. So we'll go green, black. I'm hoping that we get to hit land here and get the 2 for 1. But even if we just kill this, that's not the end of the world. So we'll mill ourselves. And then blow up their Smuggler's Copter. Hoping to hit a land in the top 3. Nice. Hit a couple lands, actually. Which one of these do we want? Let's take Botanical Sanctum. That can be our land drop for next turn. Or, yeah, we'll take the Sanctum. And we'll pass. And then next turn, hopefully, Vraska can take out their... We can play Vraska with Spell Pierce up and then take out their Woe Strider, and we'll be in a really good position from there. Our life total is a little low now, but I'm not too worried about that. They don't look like they're an aggressive deck, per se. Ooh, good draw there, too. Still think I want to get the Vraska down, though. Oh, the fact that their card was literal Spell Pierce is a disaster. If it was a miscalculation or something, we would have been fine. I guess disaster might be too strong of a word. I think we might still be in a decent position, but that hurts. That's definitely bad for us. We can go Pest Infestation to kill our own Mana Crypt and their Mox Jet next turn and make a bunch of dudes, which seems pretty good. Hopefully, I would love it if they just played something we could Spell Pierce here, but it doesn't look like they will. Okay, so let's just do our thing. And we could shock this into play to hold up Spell Pierce, but I think I'm just going to go for this. I don't really want to go to 7 here. They still have the Woe Strider in play. Alright, we get all 4 of our pests, and we'll pass turn. Ophiomancer. That's not a problem. If they swing with the Woe Strider, I'll trade, but they don't. Okay, I think I'm just going to play tap land here. We could Maelstrom Pulse the Ophiomancer, but I'm not too worried about it. They can hit me for 1 a couple turns, and that's not really a problem. They don't even swing with the insects. That's probably misplay. The Scarab God. Yeah, I'll jam this. They have 1 unknown. If their last card's a counterspell, it's too bad. But it's totally fine if they play Time Warp here. If they draw land and just play Time Warp, that doesn't really do anything. Oh, come on. That sucks. The one card that we didn't know was that. So now we are dead if they top deck a land, an untapped land, because they can Time Warp and kill us. That's really frustrating. We knew all their cards except 1. I guess... No, I think we played correctly, to be honest. We took an opportunity to go for the win. We'll see if they have the land. And if they don't have the land this turn, I actually still think we're in a pretty good shape. No land. Toxic Deluge. Okay, that's fine. Okay, which one of these things do we want to kill? I think I'm going to kill the Ophiomancer. Because they can just bring back the Woe Strider. And we'll pass, but now this is kind of awkward. Man, that Cryptic Command was brutal. Alright. Obviously, going to remand this. We have Spell Pierce to counter it on the way back down, but we need to find some action. We're dead in 2 turns, so we need to top deck something this turn. Uro would be our best draw. Probably. I mean, actually, a lot of things would be our best draw here. There's a lot of things that would essentially win the game, but Uro would be one of them. Grist is also one of them. So we'll plus and hopefully hit Uro. Alright, no such luck. Just get the tap land down and pass. We have Spell Pierce to handle their Jace or their Time Warp. And then we'll get a few more looks at hitting Uro or something similar. I think I will... They send both of me. I'm going to just go to 1 here and block the snake. Now they only have 1 attacker. Treachery. All right. Beautiful. I'll still start with a plus, just in case we hit Uro. We don't. All right, let's take this. And now, I don't know if I would say we're winning per se, but it's very, very close, and we have a lot of draws that would make us instantly be winning. I guess I'll untap all my lands, but it doesn't really matter. Pass turn. And now if this Woe Starter dies, it'll go to their graveyard and they can bring it back. But that's fine. We'll have time to address that. All right, they just cycle their Time Warp. That's definitely fine. 2 unknowns. Okay, great draw. It's plus. Hit for 4. We don't have the fastest clock, but we have some significant pressure. I mean, 4 damage this turn, then 5, then 6. Do we fire off Mystic Confluence to draw 3? I don't think so. I think we just hold the counterspell and make them have something. Okay, that was a good draw. Yeah, let's play that. All right, and then we'll see what we draw. Hoping to hit a land. Counterspell will also do the trick. So plus again. Hit them for 5. And then pass with Counterspell up, and then we don't actually need to escape the arrow anymore with 2 Counterspells. They're dead in 2 swings. We could also Ultimate Grist and hit them for 2. So that's almost lethal, but not quite. They just pass. All right. So let's swing for 6. We'll plus again and pass. All right, wow, what a game. We were like massively ahead, and then they played Cryptic Command, and we were massively behind, and then we got massively ahead again. That Grist top deck was key, of course. So it is just a straight-up mirror match. They're playing Sultai. It looks like they're pretty heavy blue if they can play Cryptic. I don't think are heavy enough blue for our own Cryptic. We could play Sword of Feast and Famine, but I don't really think that's worth it. Let's cut the Damnation. That doesn't seem very good. They have a few creatures, but like, I guess they're playing Smuggler's Copter. I think I'm just going to play either Thragtusk or Reclamation Sage over that, though. Let's play the Rec Sage on the draw. Yeah, we'll go a little lower to the ground and run it like this. Low-key, the MVP of that game was Witherbloom Command, though. Killing their Smuggler's Copter and giving us our 3rd land. All right, pretty good hand here. I'll keep it. The land is kind of weird, but we're going to grab a Triome on turn 1, and then we can play either turn 2 Grist or hold up Counterspell. Oh, they have a Mox again. That's too bad. Deja vu. Even more deja vu. All right, are they going to play the Woe Strider again? At that point, it's confirmed that we're living in a simulation. Ophiomancer. I guess that's technically different, but pretty similar. All right, we're just going to grab our Triome. And now we need to decide. We could just... we could play Vraska and kill off one of their things and then let the Vraska die. Doesn't seem amazing, but it depends on what we draw. And if we're going to have enough gas after that. Like, how worried are we about just dying to our Mana Crypt? Kind of worried, to be honest. But I'm also kind of worried if we just pass and take 6 and don't do anything this turn. We could also play Vraska and plus, just to soak up a bunch of damage. Actually, I kind of like that line. Yeah, I'm going to play Mana Crypt and then just instantly sacrifice the Mana Crypt, because our life total is very relevant here. I think we can win the long game, but I just don't want to get killed by their early pressure. So if they spend their whole turn trying to kill this Vraska, and Vraska essentially gains a 7 life, that's a huge win. Okay, there's something that would be good to play with the Mana Crypt, but I still think this is a good line. We have a stacked hand. I'm not really worried about like running out of gas. I'm much more worried about just being too slow. So there's the Woe Strider. Okay, I wish I had Damnation now, but their creatures are pretty small. So they kill our Vraska. And then we can play probably just Leovold. That's a good draw. We can bounce the Copter with that, but I'm still going to play Leovold first. So they can hit us for 7 this turn. I mean, we're definitely behind. It's pretty sad that they've had, I mean, just back-to-back games with turn 1 landmarked Copter is a fast start. Especially when we're on the draw. Okay, they kill our Leovold. We get to draw a card, though. And now they're hitting us for how much? 8. Alright, it's pretty bad. Do we have any outs? Maybe not. Yeah, I really wish we were playing Damnation. They're not playing that many creatures, but they're playing enough that it probably is worth it. But Reclamation Sage is good, too, which is the card we put in. In fact, Reclamation Sage might be our best draw here. Alright, does that let us stay alive? I mean, we're not dead on board. I'm going to go for the Copter, or for bouncing the Copter. And then next turn we can hopefully find an untapped land for Mystic Confluence to bounce a bunch of things and buy some time. They are low on cards in hand, so they don't have that much gas. So we're going to bounce this before they declare attacker so they don't get to do their loot. Spell Pierce. Not really what I was looking for there. Alright, we need to find an untapped land this turn or we lose. And now I think we lose no matter what. Witherbloom Command, good draw. Actually, that could actually give us a chance. We could kill Smuggler's Copter and gain 2 life. Play Ignoble Hierarch, chump block. Alternatively, we could... no, we need an untapped Black Source that doesn't pay us life. If we could go Witherbloom Command to kill the Copter and bring back like a basic Swamp, and then play Swamp Grist. I guess we could mill over Swamp, theoretically, so I guess I'll go for this line. I think it... Like, gaining life is just delaying the inevitable, but if we return a land and go for the block with Grist, we actually have a chance to win the game. So let's go... We're going to mill 3, we're going to kill your Copter, and we need to hit basic Swamp here or else we die. If they're holding Spell Pierce, it doesn't matter. Well, actually, funnily enough, they can't Spell Pierce Grist, so we actually could theoretically win even through Spell Pierce if they don't cast it here. They definitely should just cast it here. I guess they could be worried about Time Walk. We hit the Swamp, okay? So we'll return that. Play Swamp. And play Grist. Then our plan is to chump block this, go to 1. And then try and stabilize via, like... some combination of Hydroid Krasis, chump blocking, finding Uro eventually. We could die to many things here, of course. Like Jace, the Mind Sculptor, Sower of Temptation. Yeah, that does it. But I'm happy that we found a line that would give us a chance. Their last card was Counterspell. All right, so I actually still think I'm not going to play the Damnation here. If they have like land Mox, Smuggler's Copter into land 3-drop on turn 2, again, like, yeah, you got me. But that's just, it's really unlikely they have that for the 3rd game in a row. And even if they do, we are going first this time, so we're going to be much more able to do something about it. Okay, I'll keep this hand. We have all of our key colors. We don't have a play in the first 2 turns, but Pest Infestation is good if they have a broken draw. A lot of removal. Hydroid Crisis in the opener is not really what you want, but this is still fine. No Mox, no Mox, no Mox. Yes. Well, Field of the Dead is awkward with the Leovold, but that's fine. There's the Mox. Classic. Alright, well, we have the Maelstrom Pulse for that. Not too scary. They hit 3 lands, though, which sucks because we want to draw lands. They really drew their Mox all 3 games. Come on, opponent, give me a break. I guess we drew our Mana Crypt twice. They have Mana Vault too. What? So much broken mana. Okay, do we want to play Krasis or Leovold here? Inquisition of Kozilek. Alright, given that, let's go Inquisition plus Pest Infestation. So we'll start with this. Take their counterspell if they have it, which they don't. This hand is good. It's definitely good. Let's take the Woe Strider, because we don't really care about the Thieving Skydiver. And then, I guess we should just kill the Mana Vault. Like, we could get greedy and... Yeah, no, we should kill the Mana Vault. So, take Woe Strider, then land. If we waited on the Pest Infestation, we could potentially kill both of these things, but that's too greedy. Like, if they just hardcast Grave Titan and we don't find Blue Source for Treachery for a few turns, we die. Now, if they go Blue Source Jace, it's not great for us. They have... Oh, my gosh. Come on. Chill with all these Mox and opponent. They still don't have double blue, though, so they actually can't cast anything. Their hand is kind of awkward. If they just play a 2-1 Thieving Skydiver, I'm not afraid. If we draw... Yeah, I mean, we need to decide between Leovold and Hydroid Krasis on our turn, which is a kind of close decision. Leovold is better if they draw the Jace. Yeah, I think it's probably better just to get the Leovold down. This also means we could potentially play a Krasis that's bigger than their Thieving Skydiver. Not super relevant, but it would be nice to be able to block that profitably. Alright, no play for us is obviously great. Or it's the fact that they had no play is obviously great for us. Let's start with a Krasis. Hopefully hit land. There's the Rex Sage, okay. Well, I'm happy it's not a Damnation, I'll tell you that much. Rex Sage is a good draw. We can take out their Mox Jet. And now our board is beefy enough that a Jace doesn't even really do that much. Grave Titan would still be scary. Lilion is definitely not scary. So they plus, let's discard, I think Repeal. Yeah, we'll discard this. Nice. Basic land is perfect. So we could go, we have a few options. We could go Thieving Sky, we could steal their Thieving Skydiver and just go for max pressure. Actually, that seems like it's got to be right. We can play our entire hand. Yeah, so we'll go Treachery, steal your Thieving Skydiver. If their last card that we don't know is a Spell Pierce, that would be frustrating. But our hope is to go steal this, untap all our lands, Rex Sage to blow up their Mox Jet, and then pass with Counterspell available, and they'll be dead very quickly. Alright, they do have the Pierce. A little annoying. Now, my hand is good. I'm going to send these two at Lily and these two at them. We could guarantee that we kill Liliana, but this way they need to lose their Thieving Skydiver if they want to save their Lily. And that seems fine to us. So yeah, let's make this attack. So they could chump block here, have Lily go to 2, and then they can edict if they want. Okay, they do go for the chump. I guess they're hoping to top deck Toxic Deluge. And if they do that, we're in kind of bad shape, actually. Okay, they found Basic Island. That's totally fine, though. They can play Jace, but they can't draw cards because of the Leovold. Wait, we know their hand. Oh, they're escaping Woe Strider, sure. Actually, we're not ahead by that much now. I think we are still ahead, but it's a kind of close game. They use the Liliana again. I thought there was a chance they wouldn't even use it. We'll discard the Rex Sage. It would be good, but it's not as good as Counterspell here. And they pass. We draw Mystic Confluence. Excellent draw. Oh, wait. I was just going to go to combat, but actually, how does it look if we just bounce, bounce, draw, and then kill Lily? Then we don't have Counterspell available for this turn. Nah, I think it's better just to hit Lily with this and save the Mystic Confluence. If they plus the Liliana and we just play Mystic Confluence to draw 3 in response and then discard one of those, that's fine. And the problem is if we go for the bounce, bounce, draw plan, first they get to scry with the goat, then they can resolve Jace, and yeah, that just doesn't seem great. I want to put ourselves in a position where we're okay if they play Toxic Deluge. And now if they just plus Liliana before they do anything, it'll be kind of an interesting decision. Looks like they're playing something first, which is good for us. If they just play Jace here, that's amazing. Okay, yeah, so Spell Pierce is gone. We can go counter draw 2. I think that's better than counter draw, and we could counter draw bounce. But I think drawing 2 is good here, especially when we have Field of the Dead going. Just keeping the resources flowing. Oh, wow, this is an insanely good hand. All right, they kill our Hydroid Krasis. We draw another card. Now they can plus Lily, but we actually want to discard Uro, so that helps us. Now if we draw another land, we can essentially flash back Uro. Otherwise, we'll have to play one of these cards, but that's fine. Okay, I'm just going to play Golos here to get the Field of the Dead going soon. We don't have any white lands, so I'll grab Rafine's Tower. And now Field of the Dead is right around the corner. We can get it going with Sakura Tribe Elder next turn if we want to. And we just have so many different things going at once. I don't think there's any way they can win here. We'll lose the Sakura Tribe Elder. This is fine. We can bring back Uro. Okay, given that we drew that, I'm just going to hold up Counterspell. We can use Vraska to take out the Woe Strider. And then attack their Liliana with these two and attack them with these two. And there's no way that they can win from this position. They're probably just escaping the Woe Strider. They top deck the Deluge. All right, interesting. I mean, obviously game over, but if we didn't have the Counterspell here, they could maybe make a run at it. Actually, no, not really. We have Scarab God and Hand in a row in the graveyard. All right, sweet. We're 2-0. I'll see you in the finals. All right, we're ready for the finals here. Going for trophy number 25, which would put us, I guess, tied for top 3. We're on the draw, though, unfortunately, against Lalo 96. I'm going to keep it. It's close. Not having blue mana, obviously, is the downside of this hand. It is almost perfect if we top deck a blue source. So that's upside worth noting. And then Damnation is a good card when we're behind. So if we stumble a little bit, but then hit our extra land on, turn 5 or 6, this can catch us back up. Cultivate was a good draw if we find a land. We have 17 lands plus a mana crypt, so there's 16. Exactly half our deck is mana sources, but they play Entomb here, so the game might just end on turn 2, which would be frustrating, but it is what it is. We have... Oh, I thought we had Scavenging Ooze. Well, all right. I mean, yeah, this might be a quick start to the finals. Okay, I'm not going to concede to this. I was ready to concede to an Animate Dead and just not show them what our hand is, or what our deck is, but they might not have their reanimation spell in hand. They also might have Necromancy as their reanimation spell. If they take Remand, that means that they just have the reanimation spell and they're going to kill us next turn. If they take something else, like if they take Cultivate or Damnation, they're setting up for a longer game, which could mean they don't have the reanimation spell yet, and they just play the Entomb to like make future reanimation spell draws live. But they do take the Remand, so that's worst case scenario. I still want to draw a land. Oh my gosh. All right, well, pretty unceremonious game 1 here. We just get absolutely thrashed by Reanimator. I think it's like almost 100% that Griselbrand hits the battlefield this turn if they take Remand. If they took Remand. All right. Yep. I'll scoop to this. We weren't even gonna hit the land. All right. Well, sometimes that just happens. Turn 1 Entomb, turn 2 discard spell, turn 3 GG. We can bring in Reclamation Sage, which kills Necromancy and potentially Animate Dead. I think we want just everything that interacts with the stack. What do we not want? Damnation seems a little weak. With the Bloom Command actually seems solid. Pest Infestation seems okay. Repeal seems good. Actually, this isn't too bad of a matchup. That hand lined up poorly, but seems like it could be okay overall. I think we cut Golos and go... Well, actually, no. Golos for Field of the Dead is a good plan. I just want to be able to add more blue sources. Maybe we cut the Witherbloom command. And... Treachery's good. Scarab God is good. Repeal seems fine. I think I like Pest Infestation. We haven't seen that much that it, I mean, we just haven't seen that much of their deck. But we know that it hits Necromancy. It hits Animate Dead. Maybe we cut one of these two, though. I guess I will cut the Rex Sage. And then we can cut Swamp for Island. And actually, what if we do just cut the Field of the Dead plan entirely? It seems like that's not really what this matchup is going to be about. So let's see. We cut Field of the Dead, Godless Shrine, Stomping Ground, Savannah. So to keep this mana base the same, we need to add black, green, green. But instead I'm going to add blue, black, green. Wait. Okay, and then one more island. How much? Okay, let's look at how this would make our mana base look. Actually, wait, we need to play one more spell. I want to play 18 lands plus Mana Crypt, even on the play. Golos is not good anymore. Thragtusk is just too slow. Let's play Reclamation Sage. And this gives us for blue 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Not ideal for... Oh, yeah, well, 11. Not ideal for Cryptic, but it's passable. For green, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think that's more than we need, so we can cut one there. And then for black, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's actually fine. We cut a decent amount of our black. So yeah, we'll run like this. I think this is a much better build for this matchup. A lot more ways to interact with them and just break up their combo. All right, I'll keep this. I think I will hold up Spell Pierce on turn 1. Playing Breeding Pool untapped is a bit too obvious of a sign, so we're going to play Island and pass. Opponent on a mulligan. Down to 5. But this is the kind of deck where that doesn't really matter. If this was a control mirror and we're both playing a bunch of counter spells and discard spells, being on 5 is a massive disadvantage. But, like, just the hand of swamp, or even just swamp, entomb, reanimate, mulligan to 3 is, like, completely backbreakingly good against most decks, which is the power of Reanimator. But we have Spell Pierce, so even that hand wouldn't be good against us. Hopefully, they do keep a 5, though. I don't want them to go too low. All right, they like their 5. Land, go. I hope they do play a spell on turn 1 that we can Spell Pierce, because next turn the shields will be down. Okay, yep. Actually, they would almost definitely be taking the Spell Pierce here, because they can't take the Grist or either of these two, so it's Spell Pierce or Treachery, but we'll just... If they're going to be taking this anyways, we'll just deny them the information. Now we'll untap. We draw a Counterspell. I still think I'm going to take this turn off, though, to develop our mana. That was a great draw, though. We really want to hit land drops. If we can draw, like, 3 lands in a row, there's pretty much no way we can lose. But the way that we lose this game is if we just get stuck on lands and, like, can never resolve a threat because we're holding up Counterspell, and then eventually they draw out of their card disadvantage. Porcelain Legionnaire. Not a card I was expecting at all. Let's grab a Swamp and pass. And we were hoping to hit land. Cultivate would also be really good. All right. I'm going to play Grist here. Don't mill over land. Mill over Uro. Okay, that's great news. Definitely did not want to draw Hydroid Crisis here. So I think we're just going to chump block here and keep our Grist alive. They could, I mean, they're playing Entomb, so they can always just win out of nowhere. They could just go land, Entomb, Exhume, and we will likely lose that game. But they're pretty far away from putting anything into play. If this wasn't Una's Prowler, I would feel a little bit more afraid about this line and potentially just hold up Counterspell. If they go face, that's great news. Okay, no, they go Grist. So we'll block here. They're playing blue-black, okay, but they don't have another play. And we draw our land. Excellent. So not going to play Vraska here. We're going to plus, but then end of turn, we're going to play Venser and make our move then. Okay, Psycho or Phoenix Tower. I thought they were going to have something to do with their mana. Thought it might be a little bit more threatening than that, but this is certainly fine. All right, so I'm going to chump block here again. And then if they just pass, we can jam our Venser, take the initiative on the board, we'll bounce the Legionnaire, and then potentially even play Vraska. Okay, they play another land, and then pass. All right. So we're going to take the initiative here. Also, now that we're getting to the point where we have almost have Treachery mana, we can, like, it's not even as bad if they get their thing going. So it's plus. We still want to draw lands. Cultivate, okay. We're going to hit for 2 and then play Vraska and sacrifice our 1/1. We could just hold up Counterspell, but we don't really have enough pressure for that to be... Like, we can't just hold up Counterspell for the rest of the game. So I think we're going to let them have a window here where they can resolve a threat, and then from this is the last time we need to tap out. Bummer. Not a land. Okay, hopefully they don't have a play end of turn. I think they probably will have something. Oh, they don't. Nice. So this is probably the deciding turn of the game. They need to do something drastic here. Hardcast Mole Drifter. It's not bad, but it's not going to be good enough. Okay. Plus Grist and then sacrifice the token again. Really want to hit land. I actually think I might just jam Treachery here if we hit land. Nice. Okay, yeah, I am going to play Treachery here. It's not the best use of a Treachery, but the plan is to just win with what we have now. We don't really need to, like I don't want to... Treachery is good if they put Griselbrand into play and then we steal it, but we're definitely not planning on getting to the point where they have a Treachery in play, so this seems fine. I'm going to go... Do we want to just jam the Scarab God? I don't think it's necessary. Yeah, I think we can afford to just play Hierarch, hit for 3, and pass. Keep in mind, we're getting close to just killing them with the Vraska ultimate. So they need to do something this turn or next turn through our counterspell. And just playing Porcelain Legionnaire does not count as doing something. All right, you got it, buddy. We're just going to bounce that end of turn if they don't do anything more significant. Yeah, don't care about this. I don't even really know why they're playing that. That doesn't seem good in their deck. I guess, I mean, they might be less all-in on the Reanimator thing than I thought, which would be great news. Their fair value game plan is just, like, to be honest, really, really weak. So, if that's what they're planning on doing, be my guest. Let's go plus again. All right, they just concede. So, go into game 3 for the trophy. They're playing blue-black Reanimator. They're a little bit more mid-rangey than we thought. They still didn't play that many things that Witherbloom Command is good against, though. I kind of think we keep the same more anti-combo game plan and just assume that we can beat a random Porcelain Legionnaire. We could bring in Damnation. I guess they're fairly likely to be playing a lot of creatures if they are playing a sword. So one option is to bring in Damnation and cut... What? I think the Reclamations... I mean, yeah, Reclamation Sage and Pest Infestation both also kill their Porcelain Legionnaire and their sword, so we want the ways to kill artifacts and enchantments. I think I want all of the blue counter magic for sure. Repeal seems potentially medium. Yeah, I think I'll cut Repeal. It doesn't do that much. It's okay against the sword, but it just doesn't seem necessary, whereas every other card fills a pretty essential role of either interacting or making us faster or, I guess, winning the game. We do need a few cards to do that. They did mull to 5, and we went first that game. So it makes sense that it was pretty easy for us. This could be harder, though, when they are on the play. All right, this is a good hand. The Mana Crypt could end up dealing us a lot of damage, though. Like, we could just go turn 1, play the Mana Crypt, and then cycle Rafine's Tower end of turn. Like, play Island so we have Remand available. But that just means I think we're going to lose to our Mana Crypt, even if they don't do anything scary. So in light of that, I might just take it slow. Oh, well, they're going to duress us, so they'll... Actually, I'll be curious to see if they take the Remand or the Rec Sage. I want them to take the Mana Crypt, because even if it is correct to play early, It stresses me out. I don't like having Mana Crypt in play in these sorts of decks. They don't take it, though. So, I guess that's a thing. Pass. And then if we draw land, I think I will bite the bullet and play the Mana Crypt on 1 to cycle the Rafine's Tower. Well, okay. Actually, given that we drew that, I'm going to grab the Sultai Triome. If they have their most broken draws here, that'll suck. Like, they could still... Any deck that plays Entomb is just so scary. There's the Entomb. And even though this kills Necromancy, it doesn't... Like, you still lose that game 100 times out of 100 if they get to draw 7 cards. If they played the card Reanimate, we could potentially beat that. But that's just... Oh, this card is so good in Reanimator. Because also then they get Griselbrand. Most other Reanimation cards, like, oh, you got, like, Grave Titan, I'm going to have to deal with some dudes. Like, that's one thing. But if they're just straight up drawing 7 cards, including cards to replace whatever things they lost, that's just way too good. All right. I'm kind of tempted to just main phase cycle this Mana Crypt. Or main phase play Mana Crypt cycle the Rafine's Tower, because that could let us find Inquisition of Kozilek. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Don't love it, but... We could also just hold, like, pass and bluff Counterspell. But if we hit Inquisition of Kozilek and don't cast it, that would be bad. Alright. Cultivate, not a good draw. I think we're just dead here. Hopefully I'm wrong, but it's really looking like they have a way to put that Griselbrand into play. Just pass, just pass, just pass, just pass. Please, 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 please. Whoa, Strider, Porcelain Legionnaire. Okay, actually, wow. That's... They know we have the Reclamation Sage. Why would they do that? That's definitely just a bad play. I'm happy we have the Rec Sage, that's for sure. Okay, so we'll go Reclamation Sage, destroy Recurring Nightmare, play Overgrown Tomb tapped and pass. It's a little bit sad to lose that Mana Crypt flip. We're taking 1.5 damage per turn from this, and we're dealing 2, so it's a close race right now. We need to find some ways to speed up our clock for sure. Plus, they could always just draw Necromancy and win. But if they brick for a few turns, we could... Oh, come on. They had the Animate dead. All right. Well, that's game. I mean, we could draw Treachery. We could maybe win if we draw a Planeswalker to kill it. But it's like, for all intents and purposes, the game ends here when they draw 7 cards. You're welcome to Thoughtseize Us. The only card in our hand that we care about is Zaitor's Proving Ground, funnily enough, because we need some card draw. All right, big draw. We need to hit it this turn. I'll concede if we don't find a way to kill this Griselbrand immediately. All right. There we go. Play the Grist. The problem is they're so likely... Well, they might even just have a counterspell here. Although we can play through Mana Leak. Oh, no. Yeah, we couldn't have actually played through Remand, so we're going to lose that either way. All right, we get to kill the Griselbrand, but the problem is they're so likely to be able to put it into play again. All right, Mystical Tutor. They're going to grab Exhume. Yep. They are down to 6, but we don't really have a way to punish them for that. They're looking... So if they find a removal spell for the Rec Sage, they can prevent this from working, but they don't find it. So we kill the Griselbrand, but this is just not nearly enough. We'll play our Cultivate, and then hope to find Treachery off the top. So they can exhume. And then we actually have a kind of interesting choice of whether or not we want to kill our own Mana Crypt. I don't think we do, though, because we have Zaitor's Proving Ground. I think the way that we win this is by leveraging a mana advantage. Like, if we can find Treachery and then we both have Griselbrand going, but we have more mana, that's a way we could win this game. Okay, they play Necromancy. They don't use the Exhume. Oh, remember when they were just playing 3/1s and swords that don't do anything? Now they're playing their third reanimation spell, and we know they have the fourth in hand. Kind of brutal. Their life total is low. I mean, if we find another way to kill this Necromancy, it's fine. Maybe they can't draw more cards than they exhume, but that gives us more time to find another answer. And we have a lot of answers. Cryptic Command, Venser, Treachery, Vraska, Pest Infestation, Mystic Confluence. Lots of gas. The Scarab God would not quite do it. We're 1 mana short of being able to activate it. And then we could get Reclamation Sage. Do we bring the Damnation? I don't think so. No, we did, so that would do it also. Counterspell. Mocking me. Let's cycle this. Do we have any hits off this Fact or Fiction that killed the Griselbrand? I don't think so. Let me take a quick look at the deck list. One mana relevant cards. Inquisition of Kozilek is the only one. I don't think it's worth it to play that here. I think we should just pass and play the end of turn Inquisition. Or end of turn Fact or Fiction. So they get to untap with their Griselbrand. They get to kill our Grist. They get to draw 7 more cards if they want to. They're attacking us. Interesting. They could have Time Walk. And they could also just be like trying to leverage the Mana Crypt to kill us. But if if they just let us kill their Griselbrand with our Grist, that seems good for us. They could exhume to bring back Mole Drifter, but then we get to kill their Griselbrand, so I don't think they'll be doing that. Yeah, that's a weird play. I thought they would go for the Grist. Oh, sure. Oh, well, actually, yeah, I'll counterspell this. I was planning on playing Fact or Fiction, but keeping Grist around seems even better. They don't have any blue mana, so I'm not worried about any of those shenanigans. They have 6 cards, so they could Thoughtseize us or something. Or do they have Swift End? They could just have another way to kill the Grist. Alright, that works. Do they have another way to kill this guy? See, this is a situation where you should definitely Hero's Downfall before combat. Okay, they kill our insect token. That's fine. We're fairly likely to hit another spell we can cast here. Or creature we can put into play. Let's go heads this time. 2 and 2 on those. Nice. Yeah, that's a great draw. I think we're going to play it as big as we can to draw extra cards. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can play it. We don't need to play it for full strength then. I'm going to play Island first and then play it as a 4. Wait, it's actually. Is it bigger than Griselbrand? Yeah. But they're so likely to be able to kill it. Oh, it's actually not even bigger. We could make it equally sized to Griselbrand, but that's not worth it. So we'll play this. Draw our 3. All right, that's a great hand. And now we're dead to... Well, actually, we're not dead to it, but Fatal Push would be really bad for us. But if this ability works, and we can kill the Griselbrand... All right. And our hand is great. We can like deal with future reanimation things. The life gain was kind of nice to offset the Mana Crypt. I'm still a little bit worried about this Mana Crypt. But we have answers to our own crypt. If they go just exhume Griselbrand, we actually get to bring back Grist because it's a creature when it's in the graveyard. And then Grist should be able to kill the Griselbrand. We also have Maelstrom Pulse to kill it. So we might actually be ahead somehow now, even though they've drawn 14 cards off of Griselbrand. It depends. They could always just Mind Twist our whole hand. There's a lot of things that they could do that would ruin us. Okay, they play the Scarab God. And then do they play the Exhume? They don't. Okay, so we can bounce the Scarab God. We need to win some of these flips, though. It's been 3 tails in a row. Heads. Nice. Okay, let's start with this Fact or Fiction. And then our plan is to probably play Mystic Confluence, but Treachery is what we wanted. Yeah, so there's the Treachery. I think we just take Treachery on its own now, and we can make our own Griselbrand. And then we're just massively ahead all of a sudden out of nowhere. The rest of these cards are good too, but Treachery is even better. If they have Daze, I'm going to cry and cry and cry. They could also have a kill spell for their own Scarab God, which would be bad, but okay. Like, it's not like we lose the game then. They'll get the Scarab God back. Oh, it looks like they do have it. All right, fair enough. That's kind of bad. They're going to get the Scarab God back, but our hand is still good. So Exhume still doesn't do it. They need to play their... They need to play the Scarab God again, probably. Yep, there it is. So, a few options. I think the best is go Mystic Confluence to bounce and draw 2. We do need to eventually kill them, instead of just, like, surviving every turn. Oh, are they going to go for the Exhume? They do go for the Exhume. Terrible, terrible play. This actively helps us a lot. I guess they don't know that we have the Confluence, but I am very happy to see this. Because we get our Grist, and then we can just bounce both of their things anyways. I want to find a Vraska to sacrifice this Mana Crypt soon. Although it has helped us. We've used almost all of our mana almost every turn. Okay, down to 6. Let's plus. Hopefully milling Uro. Ignoble Hierarch. Okay, that's fine. And we'll go tap, 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 tap. Bounce, bounce, draw. Pest Infestation, good draw, but we're going to hold up Cryptic Command this turn to counter their Scarab God. I'm not worried about artifacts or enchantments per se, but just Pest Infestation can make tons of dudes and kill our own Mana Crypt, so it alleviates any concerns we have about just losing to a couple coin flips. We could counterbalance our Mana Crypt, but I think drawing is better here, given that we have our answer to our Mana Crypt in hand. Ooh, that's kind of annoying, but I will counter it. Yeah, I think it's worth it to counter here. Sakura Tri-Builder, not exactly what we're looking for. So I don't want to go down to 2 because they have Collective Brutality, but I'm fine being at 3. But we win the flip, so that's nice. There's a Leavold. Okay, good draw. That's plus. Still hoping to hit Uro. Dang it, that's the Vraska. We wanted that one. Let's play the Leavold. And let's play the Pest Infestation. Do we want to play around counter magic? I think I will play around counter magic. We don't need like an insane number of dudes. Let's just pest infestation this for like this. Make 4 dudes. I guess we do need to pressure them kind of quickly because we're close to getting milled. But I think we should be able to pressure them enough. We still have the Scarab God in our deck. We also have Uro. Wait, we do have the Scarab God, right? Yeah, so the Scarab God is our main thing we're trying to hit. That'll close the game out quickly. We also do have a lot of pressure on board. The Grist ultimate is kind of hilariously bad. Only hits them for 3, but that is somewhat relevant. And it's worth noting that the Grist ultimate, right now, like the Grist would die. So she would, I don't know actually Grist's gender, but that would make Grist hit for 1 more. So he'd hit them for 5. If they play the Scarab God here, we win. The game just ends. If they sweep our board, we might not be able to kill them in time. So that's what we're most afraid of, just getting milled because we can't kill them. Just be Scarab God, please. Wormcoil Engine. Okay, that is actually fine. We can kill that. I'm not going to sacrifice the Sakura Tri-Belter because I want the attacker. So we're going to go Grist to kill the Wormcoil, and then Maelstrom Pulse to wipe up both of the tokens. And then, is that lethal? 7. Oh, that puts them to 1. Bummer. Well, it is what it is, so we'll sacrifice. Man, really close. We're going to put them to 1. And I don't think they can win from that position, but it's not over. And it's still stressful. Maelstrom pulls the lifelinker just in case this doesn't work out. I think it does, but I'm like 99% sure. They're both Phyrexian Worm, so same name. They could have a Fatal Push for their own thing, but they don't. Okay, so 3, 6, 7. Yeah, dang it. Go to 1. And now, like, Hardcast Massacre Worm wins. Hardcast, but, like, if they play Griselbrand or something, that doesn't win. Because we have Grist to kill it. If they play Scarab God, obviously doesn't win. Even if they had another blue source, that wouldn't do it. So they need to sweep our board this turn. Reanimating Wormcoil also doesn't do it. We could kill the Wormcoil, swing with everything. They would block 2. Yeah, they would actually die exactly if they reanimate Wormcoil Engine. Oh man, this is stressful, but I think we're in a good spot. Just don't be like a damnation. Are they just hardcasting Griselbrand? There's the Griselbrand. All right, we can beat that. Wow, what a finals. They put Griselbrand into play really early and then kept on putting him in play and drew 14 cards. And yet here we are with a handful of 2 lands ready to win. Sacrifice. Second Pest. Destroy Griselbrand. I don't think there's a single card in the format that saves them here. This Grist was an absolute champ. Got it. That was awesome. What a ending to the league. Yeah, very, very happy about that. That was a very close match. One potential area where I might have misplayed was when I made only 4 insects. I might have wanted to do the math and figure out if it would have sped up the clock to make it bigger, but I just really didn't want that to get countered. But a close decision there. But we managed to win, and we got the trophy, and this was just such a fun deck. I love Sultai. It's one of my favorite color combinations. You get like great multicolored card. You get blue card draw. You get some black discard, removal, stuff like that. The deck was strong. We had a good mana base. Field of the Dead won us at least 1 game. And we had great fixing. Also, the cycle lands were pretty helpful. just for digging through our deck at various points. Golos, we never spun Golos, but Golos grabbing Field of the Dead is nice. And then there's the core of the deck of just like some counter magic and some efficient threats. Grist was very strong, so was Vraska. We never really got Uro going, but I think it's good. We just didn't draw it that much. Treachery is good. Pest Infestation, the Scarab God. Pretty much every single card in the deck performed well. Witherbloom Command was a card that I don't want to say it overperformed because I really like this card and I knew it was going to be good, but it certainly was. Mystic Confluence might have been the play of the game, though, bouncing Griselbrand and Scarab God. That was an awesome moment. Yeah, this deck was just so much fun, and we got the trophy, so can't argue with that. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.